Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to another video tutorial today. The topic is inequalities. So get out your pencil, pen, composition book, and let's take some notes. So when you think of inequalities, one thing that comes to my mind are these symbols. So you guys are very familiar with these two symbols, less than, greater than. These two, well, that would be greater than or equal to, and this one would be less than or equal to. So we're going to discuss inequalities today. Let's go. All right, so what is an inequality? Well, here's an example. X plus 3 is less than 8. That would be an inequality. An inequality is two values that do not equal each other but have a relationship to one another. So over here, what could X equal? Well, it's just as long as X is less than 8. So X could be 1, because 1 plus 3, less than 8. X could be 2, because 2 plus 3 is less than 8. X could be 3, because 3 plus 3 is less than 8. You get my point. So there's a value, or there's several different values for X here. It's just not one. Whereas in the equation, when we had an equation, we had something like X plus, let me go backwards. We had X plus 3 equals 8. Well, now we have one answer, 5, right? But in inequality, we could have several answers. And again, I said the common symbols. So we have less than, greater than, less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to. These two are probably a little bit more unfamiliar, but when you see that little bar underneath the less than sign, that just means or equal to, okay? So here, if I had the bar here, I could also have 5 as one possible value for X, because 5 plus 3 is equal to 8, so it means less than or equal to. And one other thing just to point out, write this down. A little property here, if X is less than 5, then Y is greater than X. Let me do this way, right? This way, yeah. Right, okay, moving on. Oh, yes, I know we have to take a lot of notes today. I'm sorry. Yeah, so just press pause and write this down. Let's just talk about this first and then press pause. These statements are used for greater than symbols. So when you hear the words more than, exceeding, above, or greater than, then you use the greater than symbol. When you hear the words at least, no fewer than, minimum, no less than, then you're going to be greater than or equal, okay? So knowing which words apply to which inequality symbol is important. So press pause and write this down. All right, so an example, the sum of X and 3 is no more than 5. So when you see no more than 5, I would say the sum, well, that's X, or the sum is plus, addition, X plus 3 is no more than 5, so that would be, it has to be less than or equal to 5. Okay, so that's just an example. So here's what we are going to do. I've given you 3 problems. Just write a verbal phrase for each algebraic expression. We'll go over this tomorrow. Press pause. And then possible solution. So here, X plus 3 is greater than 7. So which of these could be a possible solution? Well, yeah, of course. It could be 9 or B, because 9 plus 3 is greater than 7. It can't be A, because 3 plus 3 is not greater. Can't be C, because negative 2 plus 3. Could be D, because 7 plus 3 is greater, and it can't be. So that's kind of simple. You're just plugging in a value for X and then seeing if it's greater than 7. So I can't talk right now. So now you guys try. Go ahead and just try these 2 problems, and we'll go over them tomorrow. Again, this one says X minus 2 is greater than or equal to 3. So which of these would work? You would circle, write them down, and then likewise for number 5. So another thing I'd like for you to do is, in a complete sentence, explain what is the difference between an inequality and an equation. See, X plus 3 equals 10. X plus 3 is greater than or less than or greater than or equal to 10. So in your own words, what's the difference? Okay. And the last thing we're going to go over is plotting inequalities on a number line. So if I had to plot this, x is greater than 5, well, I would start here, right? On my number line, I would start here. If I just have the greater than or less than symbol, I use the open circle. So if I was plotting it, like if this was my pen, I would plot it. Let's use this lime color. I would have an open circle. Yeah, that didn't work. Open circle, because that applies for greater than or less than. Greater than or less than is open. And then I would just say, well, since I'm doing x is greater than 5, I would just draw a line that starts at 5, but with an open circle, and I would just draw a line with an arrow that way. That means the answer could be anywhere after 5 and further down the number line. If I have this, x is greater than or equal to 5, well, now I'm going to use a closed circle. So here, if it's greater than or equal to 5, I'm going to put a circle, but then close it, and then draw the number line. And again, what that tells you is that x, not only is x greater than, but it's also equal. That little closed circle means greater than or equal. Okay, does that make sense? Hope you guys get it. Okay, so again, open circles for greater than or less than. Closed circles, which just means you color it in, would be for greater than or equal or less than or equal. With that said, just try these two. You need to solve first, right? Let's solve for x. You got to get x by itself. And then let's figure out how to plot it. And again, I guess I need to discuss this, okay? Let me see, I don't really discuss this. No, I guess I do need to discuss. When you're solving these inequalities, you're solving them just like an equation, okay? So here, if I have 2x is greater than 5 minus 1, well, we just took a test over equations where I had 2x equals 5 minus 1, right? Okay, so how would you solve this? You would say, well, let me simplify over here. Let me combine my like terms. So I have 2x equals 4, and then I'm going to divide by 2, and x is 2. You're going to solve the inequality the exact same way. Okay, algebraically, right? So I think you got this. So try number 1 and number 2, and then plot. You're going to have to draw a number line and plot your number line, plot your points. Not points, but plot that point, and then graph. Questions? I think that's all I want to go over today. I hope you enjoyed today's video tutorial, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.